Woman Cammack, she's a member of the House Homeland Security Committee. She's going to be one of the people. I would imagine you've got a lot of questions for the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, because he's doing a job where it looks like nothing is actually happening.
Well, good morning to you all. And yes, that's exactly it. There's a lot of questions, and I'm betting that they're not going to want to give us those answers. You know, I've questioned Secretary Mayorkas 3 times previously as a freshman congresswoman, and each time he has called me rude, disrespectful, and has avoided my questions and not provided any follow-up answers. So I told him in response that I think it's rude and disrespectful that the policies that this administration has, that they're promoting, it's actually harming the American people. So expect fireworks today, but I'm not banking on a whole lot of answers, but they will be held to account.
Congresswoman, if you look at this 6-point plan that they laid out, it basically looks like an illegal immigration facilitation plan. Let's do it faster. Do you see anything in there that would actually make up for what will be removed with Title 42?
No, absolutely not. And, you know, the administration that we have currently has been doing nothing more than playing the blame game.
Right.
When it came to MPP, it was, oh, this doesn't actually work, or this is immoral. When you talk about Title 42, you just heard Jen Psaki say that isn't an effective immigration strategy. Well, of course not. It never was designed to be. But if you talk to any Border Patrol agent, and I mean any of the thousands that are there at the border, they will tell you that this is the only thing that they have, because the administration has not in good faith enforced MPP. They have not given the resources to our agents, and they continually turn their back on our border communities and, by effect, the rest of American citizens that are dealing with the fallout from this broken policy. We have an invasion at our southwest border.
Congresswoman, we've had you on and your husband on, who's a firefighter in Florida and a SWAT medic and a paramedic, and y'all have talked about the drugs that you're finding. They're stamped with the cartel emblem, I guess is what you would call it, logo, whatever. It's just another a piece of evidence that it's coming from Mexico or from another part of the world. And you're very concerned about this if Title 42 goes away. Tell us about the recent drug bust this week.
Well, you're 100% right, Ainsley. You know, this is a huge, huge issue, and it's a result of the open border policies by the Biden administration. Just a couple weeks ago, we had a major drug bust in Marion County, Florida, and a hat tip to Sheriff Billy Woods and to Chief Mike Balkin for their continued efforts and diligence. There was 2 pounds of fentanyl in a brick form found in Ocala, Florida, in Marion County, and this was accompanied by a pill press. These criminals got this brick of fentanyl from over the border, which was originally sent raw materials from China, and there was a stamp of a border cartel, a known border cartel, on that brick. They had a pill press. They were creating a beta drug to try to test how they could push fentanyl into our communities just an hour north of Orlando in my district, around to kids, and it thank goodness they found it. But that right there, that simple 2 pounds, that's enough to kill 500,000 people. Every man, woman, and child, 500,000 people. And this is happening in communities all around the country. That's why when we say every town in America is a border town, it's not a talking point. It's a real life situation that while Biden can hide in his mansion on the beach in Delaware, everyday Americans are dealing with this. And, you know, Ainsley, you talked about my husband. He just last week had three in one shift of overdoses. It was Molly laced with fentanyl, and this is just an everyday occurrence that our first responders are dealing with every single day. It's gotta stop. So thank you for covering that.
Well, listen, we've been covering a lot of the news and over the last week. The big story here in New York last week was that this handyman murdered a woman, a mom in Queens. Turns out he's been in the country 20 years illegally, and then a couple of days ago, they recovered the body of Bishop Evans, a Texas National Guardsman who was, you know, trying to secure the border because our federal government won't, and he drowned. And he was saving the life of somebody who was bringing drugs into the country.
It's incredible, and it's a fact. You know, you cannot defend our hometowns if you're not willing to secure the border. I mean, our hometowns and our national security are directly tied to one another, and our first responders are trying like the Dickens to secure the border. They're trying to secure our communities. But the issue is that you've got people in Washington who want to defund the police, and then you have an open border policy. And listen, we're going to have a red wave wave when it comes to elections in November. So this open border policy, this invasion that we're experiencing, this is what I have to say to them. You want to play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes. And in this case, the Democrats are going to lose control, and so they better watch out, because the American people, regardless of party, they're feeling the effects of this. This is a national security concern, and it's a crisis. They need to come to the table and close the border down now.
You're right.
Amen to that. Well, Congresswoman, I want to get your reaction to another big story, Elon Musk buying Twitter, and the reaction of some of your colleagues across the aisle. Here's how Senator Chuck Schumer responded to that reality. I hope it doesn't get any darker, referring to Twitter. And Senator Elizabeth Warren, this deal is dangerous for our democracy, as they always say.
How's that?
Why is the left's head exploding,
dangerous?
as Steve said?
Well, I guess you could chalk this up to another situation of you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And in this case, Elon Musk has come in like a real-life Iron Man and has purchased Twitter. And I think our friends, I use that loosely, over at MSNBC had a great statement when talking about what the potential fallout or what could happen from this. They said, this is dangerous. You know, with Elon Musk purchasing Twitter, you know, we could actually see one party controlling the narrative. We could see censorship. This is terrible.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I can't believe it took Elon Musk buying Twitter, but hey, they finally woke up.
Was that MSNBC or the History Channel? Because I do believe that actually happened. Congresswoman, you know the reason their hair is on fire is because they know the power of social media. And they, the political left, have, you know, with their partners in the social media corporate structure, they've been able to tamp down speech on the right. They kept that Hunter Biden story from being circulated around the Twitterverse and whatnot, and got Joe Biden elected president.
Isn't that amazing? And that's why we are at this place in this juncture today, because big tech has not been held accountable. That's why Section 230 reform is so important. The censorship of conservatives and bringing that diversity of thought into the equation is critical. We have to make sure that all voices are heard. And I'm telling you, as things are going, a lot of liberals are going to need a safe space, because there's going to be a reckoning coming. I know that we saw Tucker come back. A few of our others, Mark Levin, came back on Twitter yesterday. I'm just waiting for President Trump to make his re-entry into the space, and then we're really going to see some heads exploding.
He says he's not going to do it. He's going to stay on his platform, which is called
Truth Social.
Truth.